Many local businesses are unaware of the power of their Google Business Profile, or GBP, and how it can help them dominate local searches and grow their business. By optimizing their profile, Google will show them to more potential new clients when they search for their services. Stay tuned as we share several tips to help them take advantage of this free service from Google. And be sure to stay until the end for a special bonus that will help you maximize your Google Business Profile.
Welcome to the Lead Machine Growth Show, where you will discover how to tackle your tech, master your message, and design your dream. Paul Guyon, the mastermind behind the Lead Machine, introduces you to trailblazers who inspire you to implement life-changing solutions and systems you can model to nurture your leads and get your offers seen by your ideal clients who will invest in themselves and you. Be sure you visit our website at www.leadmachinegrowthshow.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now, tune in and get ready to transform your vision into reality.
Welcome to the Lead Machine Growth Show. I'm Paul Guyon, your host, Lead Machine coach, and the founder of the Lead Machine Mastermind and Marketing Agency. I'm dedicated to helping you tackle your tech, master your message, and design your dream. And so whether you're just starting out or taking your business to the next level, let's get this conversation started and turn your dreams into reality. Today we have Marilyn Jenkins, a digital marketing expert with 16 plus years of experience, and she helps businesses grow through paid advertising, social media management, and SEO, especially Google Business Profile optimization. That's a mouthful. Her clients have achieved significant growth, some exceeding 2 million in sales and experiencing 14x ROI. Her book, The Google Business Profile Training Guide, teaches businesses to dominate local search. Marilyn, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you so much, Paul. It's a pleasure to be here. I love your podcast. I'm excited about the show.
Oh, great. I love it too. And I'm going to start my timer because I almost forgot to do that. So when we say Google Business Profile, I think reviews, but there's a lot more to it than just reviews. So what is it and why is it so important?
Well, I think a lot of people think of it and they only think of Google My Business, which was where most people left their reviews. Google Business Profile is I think the 8th iteration from the original Google Places. Think of it as a free directory that Google puts out for all businesses to be available. And in that directory is all sorts of features, like it's almost like its own website, but not really. You can have photos, videos, services, products, questions and answers, as well as videos. As well as your reviews. So it's what Google is using to keep people on their site, but give them the information they need. And it helps you pop up in the map pack, which is where 60 to 80% of the clicks go when people search for something near them.
What is that called again? The map?
Map pack. So if you'll look, do just a general search on Google for a particular business or a type of business. And what you're going to get is the first 3 at the top are going to be ads. The middle 3 are going to be, it's a map. And the top 3 people that are most relevant will be there. And then below that will be organic. And then of course, more ads.
Yeah. And so if you're familiar with the search engine results, people don't really go past the first page. And if they're on their phone, they're going to pick something that's at the top. And so you're going to want to make sure that you're in that map pack if you're a local business for sure, right?
Exactly. Yeah. How often do you go to page 2? Nobody does either.
Only if I'm looking for my own listing. So what are some of those really important aspects to the business Google Business Profile that you should at least start with to get right?
Well, you need to claim it. If you haven't already claimed your listing, you need to do that. There is a danger that your competition could claim it if that becomes an issue. So you want to claim it, then you want to verify it. So there's various ways of verifying these days, and Google's changing that up periodically. It used to be just they would mail you a postcard and you would get the verification code off the postcard. There's various ways to do it these days, and you'll be given those options when you click to claim it. And then once you claimed it and verified it, it's yours. Now you want to manage it. And by managing, I mean, make sure your address, phone number, and website and your name are correct. And they're the exact same as, say, on your business license, as well as on your website. So we call it the NAP, the NAP, your name, address, and phone number needs to be consistent across all of the links to and from your Google Business Profile and your website. Because Google sees that every link back. We used to do backlinks back in the day of SEO, and they were just, the more the merrier. Well, now they're actually given credit or given weight if they're all the same. If you have the word sweet listed out on some of your backlinks, but it's STE on others, you're not going to get full credit for all of those. So it needs to be consistent. Those are the three biggest things that needs to happen to get it and get it started. And you'll see your phone start to ring as you start adding more things to it.
Yeah, I was on a forum last night on Facebook, I guess it was, and business owners talking about claiming their business profile, and one of them was having a difficult time. I think their client. This was a group of service providers that provide Google Business Profile services and other digital marketers that were providing services to, and their client was unsure of the video process. I guess they had to do a video of their place of business and they had to submit it, and they were concerned about that. I don't know why they were concerned. They didn't really share that, but there was lots of different maybe misconceptions about that whole verification process. So that's just changing. Some people said, yeah, they sent us the postcard. Well, I experienced that a long time ago, and that did work, but it took a while. Took a while to
True.
happen.
More and more are having to provide a video. And
Yeah.
I guess a couple of the things aren't pointed out in the video requirements is it has to be a one-shot video. So you can't go, okay, I'm unlocking my door, pause video. You have to do all in one shot, and it's ideally best if you keep it under 90 seconds. So if you're asked to do a video, the best thing to do is show you in front of the sign, walking up, unlocking the door, walking in through the business, perhaps going to, a private, maybe your employee lounge, or, if you don't have an employee lounge, show your computer with the software you use, maybe your letterhead, those kinds of things to prove that it is you. Certifications you have hanging on the wall, but it needs to be in one take. And so if it takes you 2 or 3 times to do it, make sure you get all the important aspects into the video that's necessary and then upload it. And all of this is done on your phone. The taking the video and the uploading through the management portal of your Google Business Profile.
Wow. That sounds like a lot. And if you're a home-based business, what is your recommendation there? Same thing?
Now, that's the same thing. You're going to have to do the same thing as far as verifying it. Now, if you are a home-based business and you don't want your address published, then you're going to have less weight in the search, because obviously it's a map. They want people to have a pin. They can go to the location. So many people are doing virtual offices. That works, but it's incredibly more important if you have an actual, even rent a small space if that's what you need to, and use it for storage or whatever, but make that your business office.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And so that shines a light on, okay, if you're a digital marketer or a service provider that provides services virtually, then Google Business Profile isn't going to be as useful.
I would agree, because
Yeah.
especially with digital service providers, we're nationwide or perhaps global. So no one is really looking locally for you unless you service specifically. And I do know agencies that service, like website agencies that are local. They work with the local businesses. That's completely different. But if
Yeah.
you're a service provider that provides services across the nation, maybe North America, maybe globally, your Google Business Profile isn't that important.
Yeah, because people are looking for a plumber near me and,
Exactly.
massage therapist near me or whatever that might be looking for. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So if I'm a plumber my former neighbor, his father was an electrician and he was a plumber, and his son is an HVAC. And so they're all
Okay.
local service providers, and they don't know anything about being online and they're just kind of clueless. They don't even have websites. But so how can online marketing and a Google business profile help someone like that?
Well, I think again, the first thing is to get in there, get your Google business profile and then start building it up, especially if you don't have a website. There's a
Yeah.
chat button, so you can connect a phone number that can accept SMS. And so you can start a chat with people who are interested in you. I would suggest at least a basic website. I mean, at least, GoDaddy, Wix, something like that. It's inexpensive, easy to set up, and you can get the detailed information out there about you. Um, in addition to that, with those service providers, there's a place in your Google business profile to list products and services. So you could list each one of your services out there so people can see, right? Because when we talk about a Google search, Google has transitioned into a zero-click search. So when you go to Google and you're
Yeah.
looking for something, they want to give you all of that information on the website, on Google's search results page without you having to go anywhere else to find them. If you just did a how to blah, 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 right? And they find there's a YouTube video that answers your question, they'll not only serve you that video, they will timestamp it right where your answer is. So that's the power of
Mm.
Google. So even if you don't have a website, take your Google business profile and put everything in there that you would think to. There's blog posts where you can put articles about each of your services. There's question and answers. So you can put all your FAQs in there. So every business has the top 3 questions every customer asks before purchasing, right? Those are
Yeah.
your question and answers.
Yeah. And I didn't know about the chat feature in just till a couple of days when I was preparing for this. I didn't know that you could actually have an SMS chat with people that are on your page and also calls. So it makes a lot of sense. If you only have a landline, get it, get something that will accept text messages so you can do that. And if
Exactly.
you're out on the job, have someone do it for you or have some sort of automation that helps you with that.
Exactly.
So, and so some of those ways you just mentioned, kind of lead me into the next thing is if you are, let's say you have a website and you're maybe a YouTube channel and you're blogging so that you're kind of savvy with it. Um, Taking in some of those assets that you have in your YouTube and on your website, you can put them on your Google business profile, which will help with your rankings, which I just didn't make that connection. But that's just one other property that you can put your content on that can help people find you. Is that correct?
That's correct. And what I suggest for my clients to do is take 10 minutes a week and do one thing on your Google business profile. So if, say your next competition has virtually the same number of reviews, but they never update their Google business profile, even your hours of operation, especially during holiday times, it will actually show when you look at a store, it'll say when they most recently updated their hours. Okay.
Yeah.
So what you're getting there is Google sees interaction. They show that they can see that you're engaged with your profile. So when it comes to that map pack, you have the possibility of being ranked higher than someone who has maybe more reviews than you because you are keeping it up to date. You're engaged in the platform and they see that you're engaged in the user experience.
I know, and it's frustrating when you are relying on the map pack or finding out when your favorite restaurant is open. And the way things have been lately with restaurant closings and people don't want to come to work, or it's hard to keep people working. Restaurants are closing. You don't know what their hours are, and you don't know if you can believe it. But if you find a profile that's been updating, uh, there's more credibility there, isn't there?
Absolutely. You
Yeah.
know that that business owner wants to make sure that you have the most current and up-to-date information on their business. Just as an example, there was a pet supply store that noticed that on Tuesdays, the last 2 or 3 Tuesdays, their sales were really, really low, and they couldn't understand that. So they started looking around and see what happened, what changed. And one of their team members went to their Google Business profile, and for some reason, their Google Business profile showed that they were closed on Tuesdays, which
Uh-huh.
was not true. So they updated their hours and days of operation, and then the following Tuesday, sales were back up. So it is super important. Even if it's a
Wow.
regular customer, they want to check and see if you're open when they're on their way there.
Wow, that's cool. And yeah, that's what I do. And if I'm planning, today is my anniversary and my
Happy
wedding anniversary.
anniversary.
Thank you. And so we are looking for places to go and maybe some places we haven't gone before. And so we wanted to make sure that they're open because there's construction going on. It's in Michigan. Summer is construction season. We've got traffic circles and all kinds of stuff going in, which is a real, it's our part of our season. And so you just never know. And so those ones that are keeping their profiles up to date are more likely going to get business, especially when they're maybe part in the construction zone. That might be
Exactly.
really important to be aware of that. And yeah, you don't, a lot of people just don't think about that Google business profile out there and how people are using it.
And
So
there is a insights in the management tab, by the way, where we're talking about how to see what's going on. When you go in to manage your Google business profile, there is an insights tab that shows you how people are interacting with it. So you can see how many people and how often they're clicking on directions, the chat or click to call or your website, any of the buttons that you provide for them to be able to reach out to you. You can see how people are using your Google business profile. And of course, you always want to ask for reviews. If you don't have up to at least 10 reviews, you should do what you can do to reach out to perhaps your service providers, anyone that you do business with, and get a character review. Now, don't do a whole bunch at one time, clearly, because if Google sees that you've only gotten one a month for the last 10 months and all of a sudden you get 20 in a week, they're going to gate those and not let them be published. But make it a regular part of your business to ask for reviews and give people a link to that pop-up window. So all they have to do is just type.
yeah, and that's making it easy for them and even reminding them to, whenever you have an interaction with a customer, whether you've completed a transaction or especially if you've solved the problem for them and they said,
Mhm.
oh, thanks, thanks for coming to the rescue. Hey, could you leave a review here? Here's a link to it. That's a
And a
great
lot of
place.
businesses have a little card with a QR code that takes them directly to that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good idea. Put it right on your business card.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's a great idea. And so if people are interacting with my business profile, my next question is going to be, okay, how can I leverage that to get leads and get people to come to my website or my store?
Well, and that's where it comes into what I was talking about updating, do something every week, right?
Mm.
Whether it's add a new photo, add a video, update a service, because everything that you provide them will help them make the decision to do business with you. You know, have a picture of the front of your building, have a picture of your team. Obviously, your logo can be one of the photos. So you want to, I suggest doing an intro video. So it's you,
Mm.
the business owner, talking to that person, not to the camera, but to that person and explaining what you do, how you do, and why they should do business with you.
Yeah, that's great. And that comes right out of the playbook from They Ask You Answer. I don't know if you're familiar with the book by Marcus Sheridan, uh, which is a great book, by the way. You can grab that on Amazon. It tells you about how to write content around the things that customers are asking about, which would be a great, there's like 8 things that people always ask that probably about your business that you could answer and put up there, as well as on your YouTube and on your website or on
Of
your
course, yeah.
stores.
If you're already
Yeah.
making content, put it everywhere. But the services, the question and answer, the services, the products, that's incredibly important. The more that you do, and if you're having a special, you want to make sure you put that out there. Again, the more you interact with it, the more Google sees that you're engaged in the user experience, and they will give you credit for that.
Yeah. Wow. And now, is it hard to manage your account? Is there a big learning curve or is it pretty simple
No,
to do?
it's
No?
pretty simple. One of the most important things you can do is choose your category correctly. So it used to be you only had 3 categories to choose to set up out of the whole list. They're already pre-set up or pre-selected. You just have to go in and select them. But like, think about a family law firm. If you're looking for a divorce attorney or a child support attorney or something like that, and you do a search near me and all you see is law firm, law firm, law firm, that doesn't really give you a lot of information. But if you do a search and you say family law firm, and then you're looking for a divorce attorney, it says divorce attorney, those types of things. If you're a bakery, if you're whatever, choose your business and then choose. You have now, I believe, up to 10 categories and prioritize them with the most important one down so that you can be found in more searches.
And so those categories are there's a fixed list of them and they keep adding to them as they come up. But you can choose more than one?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
the word I was looking for, fixed list.
Yeah, a fixed yeah, or a static. A lot of people call that a stagnant list, but it's a static list.
Yeah, and it's
Stagnant
growing.
means smelly.
Yeah. And it continuously grows. I mean, they're adding things to it as of course, as Google Business Profile gets more and more important. And again, this is like the 8th iteration of Google Places. So they're consistently changing it and adding features based on the fact of what people want and how can they give the searcher, the visitor, more information without leaving Google. And we want to be able to provide them as much information as possible.
Yeah. Now, you think it's possible for just a layperson who isn't savvy about internet? You think they can manage their own business profile, or is it something that they have to hire an expert to do?
Well, it depends on the amount of time they have, and that's exactly why I wrote the book. My company helps law firms and local businesses maximize their Google Business Profile, and they'll also run digital ads to get new clients. Now, what I found is over time, I've been doing this a very long time, a lot of businesses are not yet ready to run ads or ready to hire someone. So, but they still need to know how incredibly important your Google Business Profile is to your business. So I put down step by step in the book, everything you need to do from claiming it, verifying it, all the way through to how to each step, how to maximize your Google Business Profile, and then what to do going forward. So it can be done. It's not, they didn't make a rocket scientist need to do it. It's pretty simple. It just takes sitting down, hunkering down, and getting some time to do it.
Right. And of course, if you don't have time, any way you look at it, even if you hire a professional, you're going to have to spend some time on it if you want to get the benefits of that. And I think everyone wants the benefit of business growth. And if
Yeah.
you're in a local business, you certainly want more people coming to you. And if there's more ways, especially free ways that
I
you can,
started to say, and let's not forget, this is a free service Google is offering.
yeah, yeah. And so, um, what are some of the other things that we'll discover in that book? The book sounds like a piece of gold.
Again, I wanted to make sure that it's everything you need to do, reminding you about products and services, holiday sales, any of those types of things, keeping everything up to date and checklists. Go through and the book helps you go through your entire Google Business Profile with screenshots. And if it's something that you don't have time to do, but you want to make sure it's done correctly, I also provide SOPs, which are standard operating procedures, over
Good.
35 of them that you can hand off to your trusted teammate and have them do it for you and know it's done correctly.
Wow. Now that's a roadmap there.
Exactly.
Wow. Wow. And so we didn't really talk a lot about reviews. And so I think reviews are important to any business, whether they're local or not. Is there an advantage to the review portion of Google Business Profile for maybe national companies?
Absolutely. The reviews, Google has moved beyond first place of being the first place that people go for reviews. It's no longer TrustAdvisor being the first place or Yelp. Google reviews has outgrown that. So what I suggest all my clients do, and I suggest in the book, whether you get a positive review or a negative review, respond to every one of them. So Google sees that you care about the user experience, right? So if it's a negative review and this is uncalled for because they never did business with you, you can always try to appeal that. But either way, you want to reply professionally to every review, thanking them or explaining, I'm sorry, you never came into my business. I think there might be a mistake here, but if I can be of help, just make it super professional and keep your ego out of it and be a professional business person. And what people will do is when they come to look at your Google Business Profile, they look at your reviews, they're going to read that and see that you care about your customers because you reply to each of those reviews.
Yeah, and Google's opinion of your business is important because of the search results, but even more importantly is how your customers perceive you. And it's usually when something goes wrong in the way that you handle it, that's when you really shine as a great customer service experience. The way you handle that negative experience is frequently what keeps people coming back to your business. And
True.
so So instead of hiding from those, you can't hide. You can't
No,
hide from the negative reviews. So you might as well take advantage of, turn them into an opportunity to shine.
exactly. I mean, if you truly did, someone might have been having a bad day. Maybe your employee was having a bad day, whatever. There's no reason of finger pointing and being a keyboard warrior because you're not looking them in the face. Be professional because everybody else that looks at your business are going to read those reviews and they're going to see how you replied. If you reply professionally, that goes a long way in today's business world because we get a feeling of how a business is and how they respond or how they will respond to us based on how they responded to previous customers.
Yeah. And so what are some of the ways that we can use reviews in our marketing? Are there some ways that we can leverage that? What are some tips that you have that you recommend your clients?
Well, if you have a website, I would definitely have those reviews on your website. You can get a little plugin if you're using WordPress that will actually show them. You've probably seen this before where it shows a review and then it rotates and shows another review. If you don't have WordPress or don't have that option, have a reviews page. And then I would make sure those reviews are also put on your Facebook. Put them on your, if it's something that you can even make a little video of it, put that on your YouTube, put it on your Instagram. Make sure your reviews go everywhere because you want people interacting with you, your business profile, and ultimately becoming a client and leaving you a great review.
All right. Well, here's Phoenix. He showed up. I don't know if you saw his tail.
I did. I
Yeah.
did.
All right. There you go, buddy. So you mentioned, yeah, you mentioned other platforms. So what are some of the other platforms that you might want to manage your reputation on that would be of use for a local
Well,
business?
Facebook, obviously, and
Yeah.
not your personal profile, but your business page. And what you can do is you can invite all of your personal friends to like your business page. And so if you continue to update your business page with the reviews that come in on Google, copy them over there. Your Instagram, you can make an Instagram image of the review, and use your branding on it. Not that difficult. And that way you're getting as much traction out of a review as you possibly can.
Right. Here he is again. So speaking of reviews, and so this is all part of your online reputation. When we talk
Correct.
about responding to reviews and keeping them up to date, putting some valuable content on them, what are some other ways that are best practices that for maintaining that reputation online?
Um, I think making sure that you have all the information up to date. And I know I've said that before, but it's so important, especially now that Google is showing last updated dates on
Yeah.
Google business profiles. So if you haven't looked at years and months, I suggest that you go immediately. Do something to update it, whether it's to update your hours, reply to a review, and it will show your new updated date, the date you updated it. So that's incredibly important.
Right. And how would you um, when you're looking for someone to help you, what are some things that you should be looking for with a professional who's going to help you with your business profile?
You want to make sure that you get someone who will be an editor or manager. It's very important. I've had clients come to me that had given admin privileges to someone else. And if you know anything about admin versus editor, admin owns it and they can change the admin. Your Google business profile is a business asset. Okay. It's going to get business to you. It's important that you own it and you keep it and you claim it immediately. If you don't have it, like I said, competitors can claim it. But if you bring in a team member or a service provider such as ourselves, you want to give them manager access. With manager access, they can do everything you can do, plus without some of the larger or higher end permissions. So it would be helpful if you can't and you don't have the time. Certainly, outsource it to someone that can do it for you, and it's ongoing. What we do for our clients that we handle their Google business profile is we write 4 human written, not AI, human written articles a month to help add content to it. And you can take those articles and put it on your blog. You can make videos out of them and put it on your YouTube. all of these types of things. And then, of course, Facebook is a very high authority backlink company source. So you can always take those blogs, take anything from your website and your Google Business Profile, put it on Facebook and link back to that source. So what you're telling Google is, look, I've got all of this going on. I am using my Google Business Profile. I am relevant to customers who need me.
Yeah, and going back to the admin rights, I think it's important to have a policy or like you call them SOPs, not only how to the buttons to push and the step by step thing to accomplish a task, but also you need to as your company grows, and you should start out immediately doing this, especially if you're a solo, is you should have some sort of brand identity, some sort of guidelines and the kind of tone you're going to have, the way you speak with your audience. Those things should be consistent. You should probably have a plan for when you do have a negative review, who's going to handle that, how it's going to be handled. Maybe your marketing coordinator might handle it. Maybe your HR person might handle it, or maybe the CEO would or president would handle that, or the owner. Because that's super important. And that, like you said, it's like talking to the press. This is the new PR. When you're talking to the radio station or the TV station, when they come to interview, they're gonna spin it their own way unless you control what the message is. So that's really important. Have you found that's one of the dangers of giving up admin privileges, but not having that in place, isn't it?
True. You want to make sure that if you do hire someone, or even if you don't, and you do it in-house, you need to have those procedures down. Systems are going to be what can help you grow your business to the point it's now a sellable asset, because it doesn't depend on you to do everything.
Yeah.
And being able to have all these things in writing. And I know it sounds daunting, but as you do something, you can make an SOP of how you did it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to your voice, you do want a brand identity type platform that you've written down, and everyone that comes beyond you that may be handling things for you knows this is the way that you like to be presented. And you're right. You take control of the message, or the message will take control of you.
Exactly. And the point you made with the while you're doing it is the best time to document it, because it does seem daunting. So, oh, you mean I got to go write down everything I do? It'd be easier to do it myself. That's what many CEOs will tell you, or maybe entrepreneurs will say, well, I can't outsource it because of this. Well,
No one can do it as well as I can.
right, exactly. But that's not always true. And so what I teach my private coaching clients is the power of incremental action. Exactly what you said is, while you're doing a task, you write down, you at least outline it, have a little notepad next to you and write down the things that you do, and then you can hand it off. You can always monitor it and make sure the person that you handed it off to is doing it the way that you want, and then you can tweak it, and then you don't have to do it anymore. And so
That's right. I mean, it's
powerful.
delegation with responsibility and accountability.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You want to check in on it, make sure they're doing it the way you want it done. If there's any steps missing, and the same goes to your team. If you've already delegated something to a team member and there's no written or video step by step how they're doing this, assign that for them to do it next time they do this thing. They're going to document everything they do. They don't have to sit down and take 2 hours out of their day to walk through how to do it. But if they use Loom video, say it's something they do online,
Yeah,
use Loom and do a Loom with everything you do in that particular task. And now it's documented, right? And it's,
yeah,
as long as it doesn't change, that document is good. Check it every 90 days to see, has anything changed? Is it easier? Are there an extra step? Did Google add another feature to the Google Business Profile that I need to add, to my SOP? All of those different things. But you need to have a process and you need to have a voice. I agree. And especially when you're talking to a local service provider, people have choices. You want to be their choice. You want to always be their choice.
yeah, exactly. And when you mentioned Loom, I just realized that the paid version of Loom, I don't know if the free version has this, but the paid one for sure, it has a transcription capability, so that once you've recorded how you do something, it can transcribe it, and then you could hand that off to someone to formalize it, and you can review it, and there you go. There's your SOP for doing that particular task. And I
Yeah,
learned that from
Yeah, the new free, that's a perfect way to do that. The new
Yeah.
free Loom is actually now limited to 5 minutes.
Uh,
So, it's a good $10 a month. You're going to use it more often. But yeah, figure out something that's going to help you document what you do and use those documentations as you delegate. And you can then, like, it's becoming not you being your business, but your business being an entity.
right. 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 And I use Snagit is another screen capture and training tool that I use to record screen grabs and SOPs and things like that. So that's great. Well, you've been doing this for a long time. I don't know if you've been doing it for all eight or 10 iterations of Google Places, but uh, what are some of the success stories, or can you think of something that when someone had like wasn't even there, and then all of a sudden they came on board and they flourished?
Well, I do have one, other than the pet store I talked about earlier,
Yeah.
getting their sales back in on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Have an attorney client in Florida that just at one point the phones was ringing fine. It's family law, and then for about 2 months the phones just weren't ringing.
Mm.
So we started digging into the Google Business Profile. There's a competition in town that's now been updated. They keep updating the Google Business Profile, but this particular attorney has a lot more reviews, but hadn't touched their Google Business Profile in months. So when we started updating the Google Business Profile and making sure, Google sees every time you update it, they're consistently getting reviews. So go in every week and reply to a couple of reviews, whether they're a year old or 2 days old. Just reply to them. Google sees, like I said, the user experience. You're interested in the user experience. So by doing that, literally within about a week, the phone started ringing again.
Wow.
So they moved up to where they should be. They had more reviews. So they moved up higher in the map pack and their phone started ringing. It is
And
a very powerful tool, and you can see quickly, depending on how much competition you have, obviously, but you can see quickly the phone starting to ring. And over the course of 12 months, if you're running Google Ads as opposed to, and you're also doing your Google Business Profile, you can see up to a 4x return on the Google Business Profile with money, with clients over ads. So it's
yeah.
certainly worth it to do that because, again, even Google says 60 to 80% of traffic will go to the maps before they go to paid search.
Yeah, exactly. I avoid the paid search because I know it costs a person money, and I know that it might not be the trusted one. The trusted one is the one who's ranking well. At least
Exactly.
that's what you would think. And the other thing is everyone knows that if your phone is ringing, your cash register is ringing, and so you want
Exactly.
that phone to ring. So, what are some of the things to avoid, or some of the huge mistakes that you've come along in your 16-year journey with this technology?
Well, I think the big thing is your name, address, and phone number being different. One of the worst things you can do is say Paul's plumbing in name city. If you put that as the name of your company, that's bad. So you put a keyword in the name of in your name of your company, and that's not the name of your company. So, and when Google
Oh,
looks to your website, and your website, your company name is Paul's Plumbing, not Paul's Plumbing plumber in this city, right? So see, it's
uh,
not a match. So we want everything to be matching. Don't keyword stuff. Okay. Don't, when you request a review, don't give someone a pre-written review to put in. Okay. Yeah. Maybe they won't know what to say. You can give them suggestions, but if you get 10 reviews that are all the exact same text, you're not going to keep those reviews for long because Google will see that you are seeding those. So don't keyword stuff your
yeah,
name, choose the correct categories, and let your reviewers write their own words. You can ask them, suggest that they say, well, if you don't mind, whenever you write your review, just mention Paul's Plumbing is a plumber in this city. And if they do, that's great, along with their other words. So everyone is not identical. So
yeah,
don't try to shortcut it and give people a copy and paste to put in Google because Google will see those as not valid. And you also don't want to pay someone. There's services online where you can pay to get reviews. The
yeah,
problem with that is those Google business profiles or Google Gmail profiles are typically brand new. have no history of making reviews, or maybe no history of being online at all. They just made an email, gave you a review, and went away. And a lot of those are going to get gated as well. So Google wants real, accurate reviews. And so those are the few things that you can do to make sure that you're doing it right and just being a good business person.
Yeah, and authenticity is always going to win over all the fictitious stuff that's out there. So don't be bamboozled by someone who's selling snake oil. Basically, is what they're doing. Is when you're selling
Exactly. I mean,
that
you
thing.
just can't shortcut it. You can't go out and like buy Instagram followers and expect for that to last for any period of time. So you want to make sure that you get real reviews. Let people write in their own voice. If you want to suggest how they refer to your company, that's fine. That would be your name and a keyword. That's great. But don't give them exactly what they need to write.
Right. Great stuff. I have one more question before we wrap up. Actually, two more. The first one is I have a client who has he's got a couple of different. He's got two different Google business profiles, and they both have reviews on them. They both are really good reviews, and with decent ratings. 4.5, almost 5-star ratings. What do you do when you have multiple profiles?
Now, are they for the same address?
Yeah, I believe they are. Maybe they're for different. I didn't notice that.
So it would be if he has two locations, he needs to keep them separate, okay, to be able to appear in the searches in those two separate areas. If they are just for some reason he happened to get two, he can contact Google from within his insights and have them merged.
I see. I think what happened was he was operating out of a golf course, and then he moved to a different golf course, and so I think that's what happened. And
So he should be able to contact Google and have those merged to his current address.
Gotcha.
So the other thing is, if you ever have someone, if your Google business profile is suspended for any reason, don't go in and delete it. Go through the steps to get it unsuspended. If you delete it, there's no steps to do. We had a client that had somehow something happened and it got suspended. They got frustrated and deleted it. There's nothing you can do except start over again. So you've lost everything you did. You lost all those reviews, and now you have to start over again. So if you have, for some reason, you get suspended, don't delete your profile. Start the process through support. Believe it or not, as hard as Google is to reach, they do have actual humans in the support of the Google business profile.
Right. It might take them a while, but you got to be persistent because it's important. And especially if you had some longevity there and maybe some positive experience, that SEO juice is there, is still there. You just have to, it goes away. So that could cause your phone not to ring right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I did the book. So people don't realize, small businesses don't realize how very important this free resource of Google is.
Yeah, totally. Well, Marilyn, as we wrap up with this amazing, valuable interview, I really appreciate it. What are three things? We've covered a lot of them already. What are three things to wrap it up that our listeners can do today to put these ideas into action?
I think, obviously the main information, and then add photos, add videos, encourage your reviewers. If you're a restaurant, especially, or a service provider, think plumber, whatever, encourage your reviews to include photos. So there is a limit to the number of photos that you can put as the business owner. However, there's not a limit when it comes to the reviews. So get photos included with the reviews when you can, and update it. At least spend 10 minutes a week finding something to do on your Google business profile, whether it's writing a short article, updating a service, adding a service if you've included something in your business, replying to reviews. Always do something at least once a week. It makes a difference.
Right. And you got to get the book.
You got to get the book.
You got to get the book. It's a $97 value. You can get it for just $5 at MaximizeYourGBP.com, and you use the coupon code LEADGROWTH5. So LEADGROWTH 5, and then go to www.maximizeyourgbp.com and you'll get the Google Business Profile Training Guide by Marilyn Jenkins. And I'm sure that if you spend 10 minutes a day, you can probably read that book pretty quick, and you can take those SOPs and put them into action 10 minutes a week and start getting some traction on your Google Business Profile. And certainly you can also reach out to her at that website also.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can get in touch with her and engage with her and hire her if you need some help. So Marilyn Jenkins, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate our conversation. Very enlightening. I'm glad that we met. And remember, faith and action go hand in hand. So keep the pedal to the metal. And until next time, I'm Paul Guyon, your host, and Marilyn Jenkins, our special guest, the Google Business Profile Guru.
Thank you
Thanks
so
so
much.
much.
It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure is mine.
Thank you for tuning in to the Lead Machine Growth Show with Paul Guyon, where we show you how to tackle your tech, master your message, and design your dream so that you can transform your vision into reality. Remember to visit our website at www.leadmachinegrowthshow.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Lead Machine Growth Show.